Welcome! In this video, we will show you how to easily implement Google Analytics for tracking of your Luigi events. In order to start Luigi events in your Google Analytics 4 property, you need to set up Google Analytics 4 tracking, of course, and also the Google Tag Manager account. Now, let's navigate to the Google Tag Manager account, choose the right website container, and then navigate to tags and create a new tag by clicking this button. You can name your tag anyhow we want. So let's say GA4 Luigi event, and then click on the tag configuration. In tag type, choose Google Analytics 4 event. Since you need to set up the Google Analytics 4 property measurement ID, you can create the previously created one if you set up the Google Analytics 4 via Google Tag Manager, or create a new tag. So if you want to create a new Google Analytics 4 tracking ID, just put the tracking ID of your Google Analytics 4 property in this field, measurement ID. You will find the measurement ID of your Google Analytics 4 by navigating to your Google Index 4 account, then clicking Admin, Data Streams, and then click on your particular data stream, and the measurement ID will be shown to you. It is not this number, it's the number that looks something like this. It's always the G and then string of numbers and some letters. So just copy the measurement ID here, and you can proceed to the tag setup. So the first thing we need to set up here is event name. Event name is always Luigi. Since the event that we are pushing on your website, it's called Luigi, and that event have several parameters, which 4 of them are required, and the name of those parameters are service, interaction, result type, and result ID. Okay, so we set up the parameter names, and now we need the values of those parameters. Let me show you what does it mean, right? So I will show you an example of our website, Luigi. So let's say we used our search. I will type there something like commander, and now you can see that what happened on our website is that we created the data layer that pushed the Luigi event. So here's the event called Luigi, and that event has several parameters like the service with the value LB autocomplete, because the autocomplete is what we actually triggered. And there is interaction display, there's result type, etc. So we need to get those values and get them here. So what we need to do is create a new tag manager variable. You can do that by clicking this plus button. In the upper right corner, click the plus sign, and then choose the variable. In this case, the variable type will be data layer variable, since we are getting the values from the data layer. The value you need to type in here is always the event name, which is a Luigi, then dot, and the parameter name, which is service. So it's always the Luigi dot and service. You can name the variable anyhow you want. So let's say DL as data layer, Luigi service. Right. Now you have to do this for the rest of the parameters. So let's click plus, add a new variable, again data layer variable, and again Luigi as the name of the event, dot interaction. So DL Luigi interaction, and then the result type, data layer variable, and again Luigi dot result type. So TL Luigi result type. And the last one is the result ID. So data layer variable Luigi's box result ID. That's just a name. Right, so we set up the parameters name and the values that we want to send into this particular Google Analytics 4 property. Now, what we want to set up next is the trigger. So basically to tell Google Tag Manager when to trigger this tag, when to send those values into the Google Analytics 4. And we want to send them each time that somebody used the Luigi's box feature, such as search or the recommender. And we can do this by creating a new trigger. So click on the triggering, click plus sign, click trigger configuration, and choose the trigger type custom event. In the field event name, type in Luigi's box. So what we are telling to Google Tag Manager is that every time that the event with the name Luigi's box is triggered on your website, we need to send the tag into the Google Analytics 4 property. So we can name it like CE, custom event, and the Luigi's box. Save. And your tag is set up. Now, the next thing we want to do is to navigate to the Google Analytics 4 property, click the admin, click the custom definitions, and create the new custom dimensions for each of the Luigi's box event parameters. So the service, interaction, result type, and the result ID. Reason why we want to do this is to send the additional information to basically create a dimension for the values of those event parameters. So you can, for example, filter all the users that used particular service, such as recommender. You can do this by creating this field, this button, create custom dimension, and then type in the name. So let's say Luigi's box service. Scope is always the event. You can put some description here, and then you have to type the parameter name here. Not the event name, like the Luigi's box, dot, only the parameter name. So in this case, it's a service. Right. We can see the error here. That's caused by the fact that I already created those parameters in my Luigi's box Google Analytics 4 account. So I can create it. But as you can see here, I already have those dimension registered here. So you can look. So that's the dimension name, scope is event, and event parameter is service. Then we have to create another one for the interaction, right? So again, dimension name is interaction, scope is event, and event parameter is interaction. And then for the result type. In this particular case, I don't have the parameter result ID because this particular implementation doesn't contain this parameter, but in your case it will be present here. So you need to create another one that's called Luigi's box result ID, and you will just type result ID here, right? And you can save it, and your new parameter will be created. So that's it. Your setup is complete. The setup of the Google Analytics 4 event for Luigi's box is now completed. Before publishing the tag, it's a good idea to verify if the tag is firing correctly. You can do that by entering the preview mode of Google Tag Manager. Let's click the preview button in the upper right corner. Now, the Google Tag Assistant will load in the new tab. You can enter your website URL here and click Connect. This will open your website in a new tab. And what we can do now is to check if the Luigi's Box event is firing when one of the Luigi's Box features is enabled. So let's try it with search. Let's type something in the Luigi's Box search, like for example, analytics. Right. And now we should search for the Luigi's Box event tag we previously set up in the tags that were fired. We can see it here. It's a GA4 Luigi's Box event. So let's click on the tag and we can see that our tag is firing the event with the name Luigi's Box and the parameters service, interaction, result type and result ID. So it appears to be set up correctly. If you want to also check the event values, you should navigate into the summary column and find the latest Luigi's Box event here. Click on it and then click on the variables tab and find the previously set up variables in Google Tag Manager. In this case, it's the Luigi's Box ones like the Luigi's Box interaction, Luigi's Box result ID, result type and service. And we can see the values here. So Luigi's Box service in this example is LB autocomplete. Result type is label, interaction is display. So everything appears to be fine. Your Luigi's Box events will start appearing in your Google Analytics 4 reports in about a day or two. So let's wait a while and then you can verify if your events are appearing in the reports. Navigate to your Google Analytics 4 property, click Reports, Engagement and Events, and you will see the list of the events that appeared on your website. Now choose the correct date range. So for example, if you set up the event at the 27th of June, select the dates after the 27th of June. Then you can adjust the number of rows per page. And we can see the Luigi's Box event here. So this means that our setup is correct because we see the event in the list of events. If you click on the Luigi's Box event, you will see also the event parameters that we registered at the custom dimensions. So we can see the custom dimensions for the Luigi's Box service, Luigi's Box result type, and Luigi's Box interaction. So now that your setup is correct, you can start building your own segments and reports to see the performance of the Luigi's Box tools.